at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast on a Saturday. Happy Saturday to you wherever you may be. It is about 11 a.m. We just learned a little bit ago that the Dodgers will be calling up Bobby Miller. That's how dire things have become. The Dodgers are calling up Bobby Miller. But yeah, we're going to hang out here for a little while today, half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Talk about your Dodgers, have some thoughts, some overreactions. If you guys have something you want to get off your chest about this team, call into the voicemail hotline right now. I'll be checking some voicemails for new voicemails for about 20 minutes, and then after that, I'll have to stop taking them because it's a whole ordeal to try to get them on in time and yada yada. Anyways, what's going on, guys? How we feeling? The Dodgers won last night. That's the only thing we need to talk about, right? Nothing about Tanner Scott. Oh, I should probably say the voicemail hotline, 562-373. It's on the screen. What is it? 4095. Check that out. 562-373-4095 if you want to call in right now and get your opinion heard here. But yeah, it is time for some Dodgers talk here on the Saturday. I'm calling these coffee and Dodgers talk now. I got my coffee set up. We're going to talk about what coffee I'm drinking. It is not Hornitos. It is not laced. I do like this mug. But I got some good coffee here I do want to talk about shortly. OCJ in the chat, first one I see, the most recent comment saying that win cost us a fortune. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That one, just about everybody in the bullpen was burned. Everybody but Jack Dreyer was burned in that 7-5 Dodger extra inning win, just the way you want to start off a road trip when you have Kershaw going only 2 innings because of an hour 38 rain delay. And full transparency, how you doing, Val? I see Val in the chat. I see Richie Flores with the 199 super chat. Bobby is back, but Lance Lynn wasn't available. Oh, boo to Lance Lynn. But yeah, the full transparency of it all. I didn't watch a lot of last night's game. I was out. I was on the golf course drinking, enjoying my life, and then I came home and there was still like 5 innings of baseball left, thanks to extra innings and thanks to Rob Manfred's ghost runner and all that. I mean, what a feeble attempt by both teams in extra innings. You know what, that Dodger double play with the drawn in infield, I will say, like, we were talking in the All Dodgers Discord, and if you guys want to be a part of that, you have to sign up through either Patreon or YouTube members. It's $5 a month. You get access to our Discord. You get access to our game meetups. We have our first official one of the season coming up in June, so check that out. Links are in the description. But we're talking in the Discord about, like, neither team deserved to win last night's game. But my feeling on that switched when the Dodgers actually turned that drawn our 5-man infield double play where Kike almost killed Mookie, and there's just way too many bodies on the infield. But that was sexy, and then thankfully the Dodgers get it done in the top, or what is it, in the 13th from there, and you know, the game was won. It hit a point where if they lost that game, it would have been painful, it would have been bad, it would have been real freaking embarrassing. I don't know what fucking embarrassing. There we go. Francisco Diaz with the 999 super chat. Thank you very much, Francisco. Just getting ready to do my Hank Hill impression and saying, dang it, Bobby, many times tonight after his nail, what is it, nail debacle? Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember the nail debacle. Oh, okay. Sorry. These are multiple thoughts. After his nail debacle, hopefully this call-up doesn't mean the Catman is paying a visit to the vet. No, this is help for the bullpen, because again, they used everybody but Jack Dreyer last night. This most likely spells an option to AAA once again for Matt Sauer, who was very solid once again, pressed into duty 3 innings, and smell you later for Sauer until there's another injury and they have to call him back up at some point on this roadie. But yeah, I mean, that's the state of the bullpen. When you go through as many arms, you need coverage, and that's the guy. Like, I guess I could throw this guy up on the screen here, just since we're already talking about Bobby Miller. There it is. Bobby Miller expected to be in New York to give the Dodgers a fresh arm, as John Heyman was on it first, and Miller was supposed to start today at AAA, so it makes sense that he's the guy. Everybody else that is an arm that can provide any sort of length has been burned. I think Justin Wrobleski pitched a couple days ago. Basically, he's the only guy on the 40-man they could turn to at this point, because everybody else, they're dead. Their heads are falling off. It's been a problem, as you all know, very much for this baseball team. So we should probably talk Bobby Miller. I guess I should do this just so I don't forget, just so I don't get too crazy and ahead of things here. I should tell you guys about Bet Online. It is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all of your sports betting action here in the year of our Lord 2025. Baseball season is in full swing. We are into the NBA playoffs. We are into the NHL playoffs. Those are going strong. Dodgers baseball is going rough, but we're winning. They're finding ways. But BetOnline has all the best ways. They have more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while games are being played. They also have the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA, NHL, MLB, UFC. BetOnline remains the number one online source, your best online source for sports wagering info. If there's not a game happening or you're in between games that day, you can head over to their online casino. They have blackjack there, all of the top Vegas style games, including poker. So check that out. Bet Online. The game starts here. Let's talk Bobby Miller, gang. Let's talk Robert Miller. That ninja Dan. Bobby's given up 3 runs. Remember this. Listen, if he could give up only 3 runs, we should note he's not starting. So back to doubling down on the last on Francisco's super chat. Tony Gonsolin's fine. The finger thing is behind him. The issue, or the thumb thing with his dead skin and all of this, that's behind him. Bobby is up just for coverage. And if I'm going to take the power of positive drinking here, I'm really, really hoping that this is the start of Bobby Miller becoming a bullpen arm. We need Bullpen Bobby. He needs to be a thing. He's not a starter. He's never really been a starter. If you look at his career, I've talked about it in a past video here on the channel. That 2023 season he had as a big leaguer, his debut season, was an absolute outlier in his professional career. He's not a starter. I will die on this hill. He is not a starting pitcher. He doesn't have enough pitches. He doesn't have enough poise. He has a lot of pitches. He doesn't have enough plus pitches. He does, however, have a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, however flat it may be. He has a hard enough fastball, fast enough fastball. He has enough of a breaking pitch where if he probably focuses on just the one, becomes a 2-pitch pitcher, and goes out there for 1, maybe 2 innings, I think he can survive. The problem usually is for him, he has to pitch more than 1 or 2 innings, and then the other team is like, oh boy, we get to, fucking beat his ass, and that's usually what they do. But the dude has a 4.63 ERA at AAA this season. Some good is mixed in there for sure. With Kevin Uhas dropping his stat line prediction here, 3 innings, 75 pitches, 7 earned, 5 walks. The walks are dead on, I'll tell you that, with 2 hit by pitches in there. Appreciate Uhas hanging out with us in the chat. Diane Schroeder in the chat. Diane reminding me to make sure I tell you guys to like and subscribe to the channel, like the show, subscribe to the channel. Things like that really does help out the channel. Leaving comments, all of that, whether it be live or after the fact, they really do boost us in the algo. But I didn't mean to push it again. You can subscribe again. Don't like twice because then you unlike the video. But some good, like I said, some good mixed in with Bobby Miller. Kind of a lot of bad, too much bad mixed in for Bobby Miller. 29 walks in 35 innings at AAA this year. The strikeout to walk ratio is essentially 1-to-1. He's at like 29-31 or something like that. He has not been good. Timmy saying the no-hitter is incoming for Bobby. Listen, if Bobby Miller throws a no-hitter in any appearance, like as a starter, if he throws a major league no-hitter, I will shave my head. Why not? Why not? Somebody, chat, clip that. Channeling my buddy, my inner Derek Lewandowski. I will shave my head if Bobby Miller throws a no-hitter at the big league level. Complete game, no-hitter. Not just allows no hits in 1 inning. We're not going to cheat this out. But yeah, Bobby is coming up. He's for coverage. Hopefully he's not anybody the team needs to seriously rely on. But I do want to go back. I'm really surprised that I know early in the chat we were getting people are really about Bobby Miller right now. That's how much people I don't know if it's like have a hatred or a distaste for Robert Miller. But the point I was going to get to is Tanner Scott. I'm really surprised, and I know we do have a couple of voicemails, one from Noah, one from Richie, as we usually do. If anybody else wants to call in right now, please do. Again, 562-373-4095. Interested in people's thoughts about this team right now, thoughts about last night. But Tanner Scott, once again, another blown save. His previous blown save, against who was it? The Diamondbacks 3 games ago. He was protecting a 1-run lead, so you're like, okay, I could understand how you blow that game. He had a 3-run lead in this one and blew the game. I was gonna say, full transparency again, it was gone. Didn't watch all the game until later, so I did miss that innings, that particular inning, but 6 runs, 5 earned over his last 3 appearances. He had the one against the Diamondbacks, a clean outing, and then last night. Is he a dude that's just too hittable at this point? Because he's allowed 21 hits in 23 2/3 innings so far this season, and we've heard some people talking about, the walks are way down. He's attacking the zone a little bit more than he has in the past, as opposed to in the past, especially with the Marlins, he was somebody who can get people to chase a little bit more. I haven't looked into those sort of numbers that much, but when you look at how much he's allowing hits, 8 hits per 9, which is not his worst. He was actually pretty bad when he became a Padre last year. His Marlins time was sort of absolutely the outlier. But Tanner Scott, it feels to me like the natives are getting restless about Tanner Scott. Some people very much in on him. Some people aren't selling the Tanner Scott stock. I am not, because he's a Dodger for 4 years, whatever the contract was. He's going to be around. But he is kind of somebody that I don't know that Dave can trust a lot right now. I think there's only 2 dudes that are trustworthy at the moment. One of them being this guy right here, Benjamin Casparius. Like, dude has been an absolute dude, whatever that means. Benny Caps, Casper getting the goddamn job done for this Dodgers team. And in my opinion, there are only 2 pitchers on the entire pitching staff that are trustworthy. One of them is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The other guy is this dude, Ben Casparius. Because everybody else has been pretty dang close to complete doo-doo. Vesia is giving up homers. He had a clean enough inning last night, 1 hit over his inning, his 11th inning, whatever it was. But he's been bad. Bonda has regressed to the mean of his career before becoming a Dodger last year. So I see that. I see Diane Casper, the real deal. Hell yes. Casper, the moist ghost from OCJ. That's a little tasteful. Diane, again, Tanner is good. He is very good. When he's bad, he is very, very bad. Aren't we all? I did say I want to talk about my coffee, because it's sort of a sponsor, but sort of not. All right, here's the quick break, because I've always wanted to do this, and then we'll get back to bashing on Bobby Miller, because I'm seeing the chat wants to talk Bobby Miller more than anything. But this is something where I went out to some camping, overlanding expo event a couple of weeks ago, and I met this dude, Lou. He's a Vietnamese fella who owns a coffee business, and he's a small business. I love small businesses. I consider myself something of a small business, because if this is a business, it is small. And I had some of the dude's coffee, and I was like, this is really good. I love Vietnamese coffee. I don't know if you guys have had it. If not, I highly recommend you at least try it. But we ended up connecting. Beyond that, he sent me a bunch of this coffee as well. Again, also full transparency, I bought some there. We bought a lot of coffee, me and the boys. But he also sent me more. We've been in communication, hopefully trying to build each other's brands up at the same time. But check out Heritage Coffee, Heritage 1857. This is legit. I've never really talked about the fact that I'm a coffee boy. I enjoy myself a solid cup. I try to limit it to one a day. I enjoy myself a solid cup, but these are really, really good. They're instant. You shake them in, you stir them in the water. They're great for camping, great for on the road, great for work. They also have, regular bags of stuff, beans and whatever. I have some stuff behind me, but the salted coffee. So very good. So anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to Heritage. Very good, and they're fueling me on today's All Dodgers podcast. But let's get back to the chat here. Noah Ortega with the 199 super chat. Thank you very much. Those are the wrong bells. There's the usual order. Noah saying Lance Lynn greater than Bobby Miller. At least Lynn eats innings. Fair. That was one of the things he did, quote, well as a Dodger. I don't know if I'm going to say that well, but Bobby's back. That's a thing, right? We're excited about that. We're totally excited. Everybody's very happy. I want to play some voicemails while we're here, while we're having a good time. Let's go ahead and listen to Richie. Richie has some thoughts. And then I want to get back in. I want to talk about more things from the game, more bad Michael Conforto, more Teoscar glazing, and then we'll kind of move on from there. But let's listen to Richie for a minute.
Well, hey, Clint. Happy Saturday to you. You know what Jock Peterson and I have in common? The number 230 is his weight and my IQ. But I digress. So whose brilliant idea was it to start the game with Ring on the way and in the forecast? The blonde who got fired at the M&M factory because she kept throwing away the W's couldn't believe how bad of a decision that was. Burning Kershaw, we wind up blowing up the bullpen, and Tanner Scott brought in his gas can, poured it all over Citi Field, and started flicking matches all over the place in the ninth inning. This is really starting to be a concern for me. But a lot of good things did happen, though. Your boy Garcia got us out of a tight jam. Anthony Banda, he kind of looked a little better. But the bullpen did come through, but again, at what cost? Mm-hmm. And we really got to do something about Tanner Scott. But it's a good W, and we're just going to have to navigate through this. But again, the pitching's so thin, we just can't afford this. Every time something like this happens, a decision to play the game with Ring, that adds pitching to the bullpen. That interference call, that horseshit interference call at third base, which I still don't understand, that added pitch count to the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Tanner Scott shitting all over himself, that adds pitch count to the bullpen. We just can't afford to do that anymore. But we did win the game. I saw some great things. And Kim, boy, that guy is starting to be like the story of the year as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, fuck the Dodger Stadium parking lot. Fuck the Statue of Liberty. Fuck the Big Apple. Fuck the Empire State Building. And for the love of God, fuck the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Great voicemail there from Richie. I appreciate that. Yeah, the interference, Dave talked about it after the game, and it's a judgment call at the discretion of the umpire. And I mean, it seemed like a very chicken shit call, and obviously that leads to an extra run, which changes the complexion of the game. It adds more pitches. I think that was Matt Sauer in that inning when that happened. And all of a sudden, maybe he could have gone an extra inning, and maybe you're able to kind of just move some pieces around they would have had a big enough lead where they probably wouldn't have gone to Tanner Scott there. Maybe it would have been Luis Garcia, who, listen, we've talked about it on the channel. I'm supposed to remain mean to him because that's the only way he gets fueled. That's the only way he pitches well, when I talk crap on him. But don't tell him he was very good last night. Despite 2 walks, no Ks, but 2 1/3 innings. We'll take that out of Garcia, but also he sucks. He doesn't belong in this bullpen. There, all is well. Everything is fixed. I trashed the man. The what's it called, the obstruction. I am shocked Max Muncy did not get his ass tossed from the game, just because it's what he does. I think it was early enough in the game to not get himself tossed. If it was later in the game, it probably would have been a difference maker. Ultimately, it kind of proved to be a difference maker, because shout out Kike Hernandez at third base. That dude is fun to watch play 3B. It's a conversation we need to have. I think we talked about it in one of the more recent shows. What do I think happens with Max Muncy, or I forget where I had this discussion with somebody, but what do we think happens with Max Muncy by the end of the season? And I do think Muncy ends up in some sort of platoon role at third base, and I think Kike is going to be the other part of that platoon against lefties, and I think that's going to be very, very good. And then there's an opportunity for Kike to do what he does every single year and take over at a position and be very, very good at it, like he was for a lot of last postseason. So anyways, that's just another random thought and tangent there. But yeah, you know what? Richie gave a little praise there to Anthony Bonda. Clean 2/3 there. Well, not clean. They did walk 2, but he tight roped it. Lou Trevino, kind of somebody who's quickly-ish moving up on the Dave Roberts trust tree out of necessity, because again, nobody else is available or able to. But anyways, I guess that's about it there on those thoughts from Richie's voicemail. Hit that like button if you're upset at Tanner Scott. That's all I got right there. And F the Statue of Liberty. Let's go ahead and listen to Noah's voicemail, as you know, and then we'll have a few more thoughts after that.
Well, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know. And I gotta say, guys, that game was a grind. My God. Clayton Kershaw, the GOAT, going only a few innings, then the rain, and then the ump show, and then the extra innings, and a lot of ump show in those innings. My God, this was a game that was a grind. Thankfully, we came out with the W. Unfortunately, we burnt out our bullpen. We're already off to a very bad start. I'm worried in the short term for the Dodgers. And let's be honest here, guys. Prepare yourselves. Whatever you got to do, go do it. Because we're going to call out Bobby Miller. We're freaking cooked. Our bullpen's cooked. Miller time is going to come, guys. So prep yourselves up. And during this series and during the game, just look at how much of a bullet we dodged with Soto. And come on, guys. There were people out there that were freaking vouching for Soto. Look at him. Look at his attitude. And look at the money he's given. And look at his performance. And as much as they were really, really awful, the Mets, we have to do better. We cannot burn our bullpen like that and go to innings. The only pitcher we did not use was Jack Dreyer.
Yep.
So we're already setting ourselves up for failure. But anyways, though, that's everything I have to say, guys. I'm about to eat in and out. And as always, fuck the Dodgers stay in parking lot. Fuck Juan Soto. Yep, I didn't forget that one. Fuck Fernando Tatis. Fuck Joseph Profar. Fuck Manny Machado. And for the love of God, fuck the Ghost Runner. Like, seriously. See ya.
This is a show of love. This is a show of warmth to the rest of the league. Appreciate Noah and Richie calling in, guys. Like I said, we'll be around for a little bit longer if somebody else wants to call in, share their thoughts. We got the comments ripping, though. Appreciate everybody hanging out here in the chat. There was something I did want to hit that I saw from the chat. A couple of things here. Going back to Tanner Scott, because apparently I really thought we were going to talk Tanner Scott for a while on this show. I 100% thought that everybody was going to be super mad at Tanner Scott. Generally, yeah, we should be happy. The Dodgers won. They found a way to win in extra innings, but going back to one of the things, Richie said, it's like there comes a cost. And this is one of the things we talked to Dodgers pitching coach Mark Pryor about a couple days ago on the Dodgers territory. Myself, Alana Rizzo, check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But Mark had talked about, essentially the price coming due. The cost will always find a way. The bill comes due. There it is. As Mordo said in Doctor Strange, the bill comes due. the Dodgers used the shit out of their bullpen in the postseason to win that World Series, and the question was like, hey, do you do that? Like, is it okay to burn through your bullpen to win a World Series? And yeah, you do that every single time. I will kill Blake Trinan every single time to win a World Series, and I think Blake would do the same thing. You play to win the game. You play to bring home the championship piece of metal trophy thing. You know, they did. But now we're seeing the costs with guys like Alex Vesia, with guys like, who was, by the way, hurt during the postseason himself. Same Evan Phillips couldn't go in the World Series. He was pitching through a shoulder injury. Blake Trinan, he quite almost literally put the team on his back. We could say figuratively put the team on his back for sure during a lot of that postseason run. And these are all dudes who are struggling or injured or both so far now into this season. Of course, Tanner Scott wasn't around. He had October off because he was a Padre. And yeah, we're just seeing the cost. There's a cost to doing business when you're throwing that much, when you're throwing that many arms. And the cost yesterday was, yeah, they won that game, but would it have been better if the Mets just walked it off in the ninth or something like that, because you would have saved yourself that many more pitches, that many more arms, and we wouldn't be in this position where Bobby Miller would have to be coming up. But anyways, one of the comments, MB pointing out one of the things Hershiser said in a recent broadcast about Tanner Scott not really, I don't have a baseball around me for the first time in a while. I guess I could grab my Clean Fuego. Shout out Dodgers pitching coach Connor McGinnis for the Clean Fuego here. But yeah, if he's not really ripping around that slider, it's going to be flat and it's going to be hittable and it's going to pop out of the hand. You're going to see that red. You're going to see the seams and it's going to go far. I mean, that's something that happened in that game where he gave up the 2 homers to the Diamondbacks there. But enough about that guy. Enough about what's his face, Tanner Scott. I think the only person in the world outside of Bobby, his mom, and his girlfriend, the only other person in the world is in support of Team Bobby Miller here. We got Killa Noes or Nose or whatever, however you say it, probably Noes. Listen, Killa Noes, Nose, whatever. I say it every time like that. Appreciate you commenting here. Yes, I agree to an extent. I think we should support all of our Dodgers, but I also believe in the idea that it's okay to be critical of these people. Like, they are very fallible. They sometimes are very bad at their jobs. I think some people have this perception of Bobby Miller as being good because of that 2023 season, which, look at the numbers. I wouldn't call him good. He was very serviceable. He was good compared to everything the Dodgers had, everybody the Dodgers had available by the end of that season, thanks to all the injuries. That said, one of the biggest reasons I want Bobby Miller to move to the bullpen is because I firmly believe, I will die on the hill that his career will take off when he moves to the bullpen. I wanted to ask Mark Pryor this week about Bobby going to the bullpen. Didn't have a chance to fit it in. After we finished our conversation, we were too busy talking about like, hey man, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. But Bobby Miller might just be born to be a bullpen dude. It's not a very good comparison, but and there may be a steroid connection to it all. But look back at Eric Gagne in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was a really, really shitty starting pitcher. Then they moved into the bullpen, and he was, thanks to the, Balco, he was arguably the most dominant closer over a 3-4 year stretch until he sprained his elbow in spring training, or sprained his knee in spring training, which led to an elbow issue and all of that kind of stuff. The time is now for Bullpen Bobby. He can go the way of Eric Gagne. So anyways, that's it. Again, back to Killa Noes. I really do hope, I want the best for Bobby Miller, because then it helps the Dodgers out a whole bunch at this point. There was another one I had saw. Doom. I saw Doom Sal mentioning something about our conversation with Mark Pryor. I don't know where it went, so I apologize with that. But yeah, if you guys didn't check that out, do give it a listen. Pryor talks about Shohei Ohtani and his rehab, where Roki Sasaki and his shoulder is at the moment, Yamamoto and his what he did to become the ace that he is now, and how that could hopefully translate to Roki Sasaki. And then of course he talked about all of the injuries, so I think it was a pretty dang good conversation as well. Kevin Uhas, our buddy, our pal. I don't want to defend Scott about what he did last night because he was bad. But I wonder if it's the added pressure of needing to perform because he's a Dodger, or he's not doing horrible. I'm having a hard time apparently reading whatever. I think I'm going to focus on one part: the added pressure of needing to perform. I would say because of the bullpen and the status of the bullpen and all the injuries and all of the lack of healthy human beings available, healthy good human beings, good pitchers in that bullpen. I think that's more of that could be more of the pressure there. The same like we learned Roki Sasaki probably should have gone on the IL a couple weeks before, but he felt the need to keep himself available for the team because they needed starting pitching help. Tanner Scott is the only like why is this guy here sort of dude in that bullpen right now. Like 100% they should not have Luis Garcia in that bullpen. Lou Trevino probably wouldn't be a dude. Matt Sauer wouldn't be a dude. Jack Dreyer wouldn't be a dude in that bullpen. Ooh, good burps. Bullpen, if not for the current state of the entire pitching staff. Kirby Yates is down. Evan Phillips is down. Still haven't seen Michael Kopech. Starting wise, Blake Trinan is down. Starting wise, no Sasaki, no Snell, which is one of the things Pryor had talked about as well. So, as a high paid reliever, I could see Tanner Scott feeling that burden to be like, hey, I gotta get here. I gotta be here. I gotta be a part of this. And another good point here, Douglas Valentine. Scott being overused. Yeah, maybe, but also he took the money to be like an ace for this team, an ace for the bullpen. Hey, we did get into a lot of Tanner Scott talk. I want to shift gears, guys. One of the things I loved from Noah's voicemail, the whole F1 Soto. I saw this from Dave Vassay, and I loved this from Dave Vassay. Happiness is everything. The difference between Teoscar Hernandez and Juan Soto, of course, both were free agents this offseason, both free agent right fielders this offseason, one of them having a pretty dang good season and the other one making a lot of freaking money to be, I don't want to say that Juan Soto's been bad. I mean, after an 0 for yesterday, 0 for 5, 0 for 6, definitely doesn't look as good. But entering play yesterday, 374 on base. It's a very good on base percentage. Yeah, he's somebody that's usually north of 400 when you're talking about on base. The slug is usually a bit better. Teo missed 12, 14 games, whatever it was. Teo missed time and still has him beat by now more than, not more than, but now I think just about double in runs batted in because Teo had the 2 last night, so he's at 40 RBI. At a fraction of the cost, at a fraction of the years. I guess it's just another way of saying I love you, Teoscar Hernandez. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for putting up such incredible numbers, being so goddamn clutch. And I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of this Juan Soto contract play out because, you can't say it was New York media that's leading to this because he was just in New York last year, but there's something about the start of his Mets career that people are having problems with. So that's been fun to watch. I got a text from somebody, Diane, saying this: I'd rather have Teo over Soto. Something we talked about a lot in the offseason, by the way, here on the channel and in the Discord. But I was talking to somebody sent me a text out of nowhere just being like, hey, why is Juan Soto sucking so bad? And I was like, look at the numbers. He's not. But for some reason now as a New York Met, it's the contract. The contract has changed the media narrative. before that big deal when he was when he was with the Yankees, he still wasn't the big name there. They still had Aaron Judge. They still had another adult they could turn to when things are going right or things are going wrong, and they'd be like, hey, Aaron Judge, what's going on? Now it's like, oh, Juan Soto, you're making all this money. Why no good? Why no good team? Why not better team? Not to say the Mets haven't been good, because they're at 30 wins something. They've been fine. But anyways, I didn't really have a solid thought about that. I just wanted to talk about Teo and point out that the people who wanted Juan Soto has a lot of time to still be very good. I'm just saying Teoscar was always going to be the better immediate bet, the better addition, the better fitment on this team. And I'm imagining at some point, if he's not in the chat right now, at some point our friend Showtime LA is going to hear this and have a retort to me on our Discord channel. But anyways, we're in the home stretch of this one, guys. We do have Tony Gonsolin taking the ball today, and he should be better. He needs to be better than he was last time. My God, do the Dodgers do we all need a strong 6, a strong 7? Shit, go 8 innings today. Make us not have to see Bobby Miller enter a game. I don't know if we actually, if I said it or at any point here, I've said a lot of things today. I don't know if I said it here or I addressed a comment that I saw much earlier in the chat, but somebody asking, who gets the option or who gets the bump for Bobby Miller. It's going to be Matt Sauer. He threw 3 innings last night. He's going to be unavailable for at least the next 3, 4, maybe 5 days. So, or wouldn't be able to pitch again probably in 5 days. So he will get the option again, unfortunately. And then be back at some point, because Matt Sauer has been another dude who's been very good for this team, kind of stepping into the role that Ben Kasperius had in the first couple of weeks of being the long dude, and now Kasperius is in this weird thing where he's the only right-handed leverage guy, but he's also a multi-inning guy. He's also somebody that could potentially start a game if they really needed him to, and give them length. We need multiple Ben Kasperiuses at this point. My God, that dude is so good. Anyways, another all national games this weekend, by the way. Of course, we had Apple TV yesterday. I was very happy that they have the option. Not to say I don't enjoy Wayne Randazzo and D-Train, but I was happy to hear our boys Steven Nelson and Rick Monday on the radio. Rick Monday, I think I saw Diane mentioning it in Discord, listening to the radio call and like grumpy Rick Monday telling it as it is. And during that whole thing about the juggled ball in right field and center field, where Juan Soto did not communicate at all to his center fielder, who was like, hey, I have the ball. And Juan Soto is just a moron, not a bad defender, or not a good defender. Hey, there's Showtime. What's going on, buddy? Anyways, yeah, Rick Monday was on one with that. He was like, I don't know how many people don't know the rule book. Like, yeah, I mean, if I'm not explaining this well at all, but I'm having fun with it. I'm riffing here. But what was funny to me about that whole thing was like that. I mean, just think about it for a split second. It makes the most sense, because like if you touch the ball as any outfielder, on a tag and advance play, somebody could just pretend to juggle the ball and throw you out or whatever. So it makes the most sense that, yeah, if the second a ball makes contact with the glove, you are able to take off as a runner. But yeah, Rick Monday was on one last night. OCJ Monday was fuego last night. I love me some Mo. He is the man. I did not hear this part. Ghost Bear talking about them going off on the Muncie obstruction call. For some reason, my iHeart app decided that for the first X amount of innings, I was in the correct area to listen to the game. And then there was like, oh, you are out of the service area. I was like, no, I'm not. Eat a dick. I could totally listen to this game, as I always can, because I am in the AM 570 network or whatever area. Anyways, that's just another whole gripe. Fix yourself, iHeartRadio. Did I say radio? I'm on a Mexican radio. Thank you. There it is. A bed defender. I see Showtime LA joined us in the chat. I got you, buddy. Anyways, I think that's about it. Shout out to Heritage for fueling me on this show. because that's some good coffee. I highly recommend you guys check them out again. Heritage1857.com. Get yourself one of these. Get yourself the salted coffee back there. And just throw it in your bag, throw it in your purse, throw it in your car. All you need is either hot water. You can do it ice style as well. It's really, really good stuff. I'm feeling wired as shit, and that means it did its thing. It did its thing. We didn't complain about Michael Conforto today, so I'll end the show on this. Michael Conforto sucks. He's so bad. He's hitting 167 on the year. He's hitting 105 since snapping his modest 5-game hit streak like last week. We're getting close. We're getting close to seeing the dude get less playing time. The Dodgers will not release him. He will not go the way of Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes. He will get less playing time, and you will see Kike get more playing time. You will see Kim in there probably most days, as he should be, because he is a very dynamic baseball player, Ha-Seong Kim. And I think once he's out of the lineup, things will be better. Shout out, though, to the Dodgers for listening to myself and mainly Jeff Snyder, but also from our conversation with us and Kevin's Kitchen a couple weeks ago. Tommy Edman batting ninth last night. It was a good-looking lineup. It should have done better. Too bad Conforto was in there, but getting closer to piecing together what we want. Ray Soto, there it is. HSK, greater than Conforto, and I agree bigly with that. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you hanging out with me on this Saturday edition. I do plan on making Saturday shows a thing moving forward. The other day, still somewhat in limbo. Like Mondays, I'm trying to avoid doing the triple shows sometimes, but double shows on Mondays and Thursdays. So we always talk about when I'm going live on the Discord. So subscribe there if you want. But otherwise, again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us here. Appreciate the super chats. I very much appreciate the conversation here. Good turnout on the Saturday. Love you guys for hanging out. Like Diane says, smash that like button and the subscribe button on the way out if you are not subscribed. We are trying to get to 16,000 subscribers now. Appreciate y'all much. Producer Kevin should finally be back pretty soon. We'll have more Dodgers conversation there. Myself and Alana will be live post-game after Saturday's ESPN game. Hopefully no more rainouts, but tube into that. No shows on Monday. It is Memorial Day. Enjoy yourself. I know I will. All Dodgers is presented by BetOnline. I am Real FRG on all the things. Subscribe to me there for no reason. That's about it. Subscribing is free everywhere. Just do it. That's about it. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.